Well, welcome. We are so excited. I want to say something before I start. My lips don't look like they're matching my words. I'm okay? All right. Okay. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for just being part of this. It's a creation that we decided we would put into motion and invite you all to because of the times that we're going through that are very stressful for all of us and a little bit crazy and chaotic, hard even for those who are very emotionally grounded to stay grounded and to feel that there's hope. So this is all about really utilizing Mother Nature and the elements that she has and allowing us to find metaphors for our own life. So I would like to thank John Lightfoot for really hosting us, and I'd like to thank Madeline Dahm for doing our tech today with John, and for my dear friend Jane, who is in the background. There will be a little bit of movement, not a lot. People are at various degrees of comfort with moving, so I will be demonstrating in a chair. Jane will be demonstrating seated or sometimes standing, maybe even on her knees sometimes. So if you're more experienced, follow Jane, and I will be doing it for anyone that wants to know how to feel good and really have a healthy body by sitting in a chair. So, Paul and I are in the arts, and so the arts permeate everything that we do. For us, it's about making a connection to your spirit and your creativity and having ways to express yourself. So we will be having a guided meditation. Today's theme is water. Last time we focused on earth and gardens and seeds and planting and creating a beautiful garden of your own design that could always be there as your oasis to go to for renewal and for just a sense of the mystery of life and being okay with that mystery. So today we are going to be having song. We're going to be having music of different kinds. We're going to be featuring the singing bowls, which you'll learn more about later. I will be guiding a very, very simple, basic warm-up. And again, that's why we have various adaptations of that. Also, there will be some slides and some images that we have really sought around the world to find. One of our very dearest friends is a man named Clive, and he's from Australia. He's a professional photographer of nature, and he has contributed many of the slides for today. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce my husband, my partner, Paul Tracy, and he'll tell you about the song he's going to begin with.
This song is called Waly Waly. Now, you may have heard of it. It's a well-known folk song. In the old days, I'm talking about the 1700s, they first called it Oh, Waly Waly. And the O is just a letter O. It's not OH. Oh, Waly Waly. And it's also known today, of course, by the term, the water is wide. Now, it was, in the old days, I think folk singers tended to take a verse from a song over here and another one from over here and put them together. But it finally got standardized in the early 1900s when a man called Cecil Sharp put it down in a book. Now, Cecil Sharp was a collector of folk music in Britain, and he also went to the Appalachian Mountains and collected a whole lot of songs over there too. But he collected this song, and what he did was to sanitize it. Now, he did that with a lot of songs, and so some of the fun got lost because he cleaned them up. He took out all the naughty references, and he put it in the book. And the book was called Folk Songs from Somerset. Now, I was raised in the county of Somerset in England, and so I can claim this song to be one of mine. But other people say, no, this is a Scottish folk song. So the history is extremely confused. Now, when it says the water is wide, I don't quite agree with that, because the kind of water I like is long. You see, oceans are wide, but rivers are long, and I'm a riverman, and I have a secret talent. It's not a very obvious talent. You may not recognize it. And you might say an okay riverboat navigator. And I'd like to show you a couple of photographs which will fill you in on this little topic. I was traveling for many years, 20 years. I would spend 2 weeks every year traveling in a boat. Now we're going to try to get this. There it is. Look, that's the boat. It's the home of the American Waterways Wind Symphony Orchestra. And my job on board, I was a guest artist, and my job was to write songs for each place where we stopped. And you can see what the boat looks like. How are we doing on the pictures? Maddie, are we coming along? It's there? Okay. We've got the picture of the boat with the orchestra shell open. This is the one which shows you what the boat looked like from the banks. And there would be a microphone between every two players in the orchestra, and with very good microphones, there we go, with very good microphones and loudspeakers, we could play to thousands of people on the banks. And I would have to make up a topical song about whatever village, town we were in, and try to remember the words. And well, it's the same as today. I've got to try to remember the words. And there's another picture which shows the sharp end of this boat. Now the sharp end, there is no sharp end. The boat has got two blunt ends on it. It's a barge. And we would travel anywhere we could go when there are 8 feet of water. Now the Corps of Engineers is the ones who dig out the rivers in the United States. And we only needed 6 feet. But if there are 8 feet, well, the better. So we would go down rivers. We start in Pittsburgh. That was the home of the orchestra in Pittsburgh. And if you go down the Ojai River from Pittsburgh, you can get to the Mississippi. Now we're seeing some pictures. Get to look at the arrow on the right. That points to Pittsburgh. Then go down the river, that Ojai River, get to Mississippi, make a left, you can go down to New Orleans. Make a right, you can go up, and when you get to St. Louis, you could turn left and go across just one state and get to Kansas City. Or you can go up the Mississippi, get all the way up to Minneapolis, St. Paul. Or you could take a shortcut across, find the Chicago River, and get into the Great Lakes right through the middle of Chicago. It's an incredible way to go. And once you're in the Great Lakes, then you can work your way all the way out to the Atlantic. Well, there's a couple of very, very deep locks to get you past Niagara Falls. And you can go out through the St. Lawrence estuary. Or you can take the tiny, tiny canal from the Erie, Lake Erie, and it's the Erie Barge Canal. And that's very narrow, and it had very low bridges. Low bridge, everybody down, low bridge, because we're coming to a town. The old Erie Barge Canal song. And that drops you right into the Hudson River. If you turn right, go south, you go past Yonkers, where my late in-laws lived, and you can go all the way down to New York City and out into the Atlantic. So I've seen so much of the States from the water. Our great liquid highways. Now this song, Waly Waly, is not about long rivers, it's about wide, the water being wide. Now I should warn you, there's one word coming up in the first line. It says, the water is wide, I cannot get o'er. Now, I've met a lot of younger generation who don't know what o'er is. Well, of course, I think was probably invented by poets in the Middle Ages who really needed one syllable instead of the 2 syllables, over. The water is wide, I cannot get over, it just doesn't work. So they chose this word, o'er, so watch out for the o'er. The water is wide, I cannot get o'er,
and neither have I wings to fly. Build me a boat that will carry two, and both shall go, my love and I. A ship there is, and she sails the sea. She's loaded deep as deep can be, but not so deep as the love I am in. I know not if I sink or swim. I leaned my back up against an oak, thinking it were a trusty tree. But first it bent and then it broke, and so did my false love to me. Oh, love is handsome and love is fine, and love's a jewel while it is new. But when it is old, it groweth cold and fades away like morning dew. The water's wide, I cannot get o'er.
Well, that gets us off to a beautiful start with the theme of water. And I'd like to give you a couple of quotes. Jacques Cousteau, who was a great marine biologist who contributed so much to our knowledge, said, "We forget that the water cycle and the life cycle are one." Now, you may not realize why he would say that, but do you realize that about 70% of our body is made of water? And that's why it's important to hydrate yourself every day and get enough water into your system. And also, Lucy Lancome said, "A drop of water, if it could write its own history, would explain the universe." And as you know, all the explorers that we have out in space are searching for planets and places in our galaxy where they might find traces of water, because we need that in order to plant and to live and to have that as one of our major elements. And there was a sage. His name was Isaac Dinesen, and he said, "The cure for anything is salt water, in the form of sweat, tears, and the sea." So what I would like to do now with this 70% container that you live in, called your body, is to take you through a very simple series of exercises that are based on Hatha Yoga, which means sun and the moon, and it is a collection of many, many different forms of yoga that I'll be drawing on. So Jane is going to be in the background, and she'll be doing the same things that I'm doing in a chair. She'll be doing on the floor. At times she'll move to her back, and at times she'll actually do standing. So we're going to start, interestingly enough, tapping. The physical just action of tapping is really related to the element of water. And tapping, if you would think of tapping water and all the ripples and things that would cause everywhere, that's what it's doing in your body. So we're going to start with something called qi, which is another word for energy. It's a Chinese word. And we're going to move the qi on these kind of rivers that go in our own body. They're called meridians. And acupuncture is based on these meridians. And where our life force, which in yoga is called prana, both breath and life force are the same term, prana, yama. So we're going to start by tapping our rib cage. So take your fingers and see if you can get your ribs to start moving, and get your right where your ribs are. So it's right under your chest, it's right under your armpits, and you just want to, with the tips of your fingers, get some action going. Moving the chi, and also trying to balance the chi, and also trying to get a little bit more energy release that isn't serving us, called tension. All right, and stop. Take your fingers and bring them into small little, more like pointed or gathered together, and moving now onto your sternum, this bone, your breastbone. You want to get the sternum going, yes. And the sternum is really good because it has our thyroid and our thymus. So we just want to, it boosts the immune system. Good. And then we find the little space between our collarbones. These are called the clavicles, the collarbones. And there's a little space, and we want to try and get our fingers in between or even at the base of that space, tapping the collarbones. This helps with headaches. This moves the energy in the brain and around the skull. A little bit more. Good. And now we get the cheekbones. So tap your cheekbones, and this is actually for digestion. There's a lot of others too. I'm just selecting a few for today, but your cheekbones. Good. And then let's tap the center of our foreheads. Part of our sinuses are up here, just loosening them up and just moving the liquid water that surrounds them. And now take your 8 fingers, anchor yourself with your thumbs, and just pull apart. Just pull about 1 inch apart with some pressure. And this opens up the frontal part of the brain and just kind of clears the brain a little bit. And you can also feel that thumb on the temples, which is a nice place to press. And now let's just get the sides of our nose, our sinuses, and even on the upper lip. So the sinuses and the upper lip. Good. And then I like to do the jawbone. This big muscle that's in our neck on both sides that is called the sternocleidomastoid bone is attached to our sternum. The muscle's attached to our clavicle and to our jawbone, the mastoid. So we're going to take tapping and tap easily and gently near the joint of the mastoid bone, and then going down our chin a little bit. Yes. So just kind of working out that part. And hold. Now, take your hands and just let energy release. Throw it to the ground. It's like you're just throwing it, 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 and hold. Now just let your hands be by your side, and you'll feel some energy moving in your arms and your hand. All right, so that's really good. Now what we're going to do is a shaking combination. It's a little bit of a pattern, and it will just follow me. You'll have no trouble learning it. Shake to this side, 3, 4, shake to this side, 2, 3. 2 times, 1, 2. 1 time, 1 and 1 and 1 and 1, and up, 2, 3, 4, and down, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and down, 2, and a 1, and 1, and 1, and 1. Out to the sides, 4 and in, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and in, 2, and out, and in, and out. And one hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, and 1, and 1, and 1. Take your hands, and if you're standing, you can do this all the way to the floor. One circle, making that circle inside the other circle, going up and trying to reach up and maybe to the back. Coming forward, moving forward, gently, easily moving forward to the ground. One circle inside of the other, coming up, one circle inside of the other. And then bring your arms down. So I'd like you to just take this arm and bring it out, and then this arm and bring it out. So you're just curving pathways like water, like the movement, gentle, flowing, this side. And now both arms coming out and in, and out and in. Twice more, out and in, very gentle. We're not trying to do anything difficult or harsh. Going the other way, reaching out and out. Nice job, and out and out. Now we're going to go to something called a half sun salutation, and I'm going to move this chair just a little bit back so I don't hit it. Bring your thumbs to your sternum, that chest bone, that breastbone, and just tap in. That is the connection. It's called the heart mudra. It's called Anjali, which means heart mudra. And a mudra is a seal. It seals energy and strengthens the energy going into our heart and lungs. So we take a breath in, we touch our hands, we glide it down, and pause. And we go in, make it gentle, and down, and pause. We bring it in. We're gathering the energy, we're bringing it together, we're sending it and drawing it down to our heart. One last one, and breathing in, and up, and gliding down, and hold. Now, we're going to do one that's a little bit different. We're going to bring our hands, same idea, but they go up and they go to our back. Then you lift your chest and you draw your hands down the front of your body and you bring them around to the back and you circle them on your kidneys, which are in the upper part of your lower back. Then you take them and you go all the way down your legs, the outside of your legs, draw your head, you hold on to your toes, and then you come on the inside, and bring your hands together. Let's try that again. In, bring your arms up, elbows drop back. You pull your chest forward, you lean back, you bring your hands around to the back of you, circle your kidneys. Now draw a line down the outer edges of your body like rivers, and then bring them to your toes, bring them inside your legs, and we'll do it one more time, coming here. And bringing it in to the back. Get your elbows high. Now press, pull on your shoulders. Pull that tension. Pull it behind you. Circle your kidneys. Then go down the edges of your body. Down, 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 down. Hang. Come to your toes. Coming on the inside, and hold. All right, put your hands on your knees. I'm going to give you a breathing exercise before we go further with our exercise. Right now, more than ever before, and it's always been important, we want to strengthen your lungs and its relationship to your heart. Your heart and your lungs are like the parents of the body. So I'm going to do an exercise where you breathe in through your nose for 4 counts. You hold the breath in and do nothing but hold it for 4 counts. Then you breathe out through your nose, not your mouth, exhaling for 4 counts, and you hold your body in emptiness for 4 counts. So there's called 4-part breathing. Everything is 4 counts. We'll do it 8 times. Press into your knees and breathing in. Inhaling, 2, 3, 4, and hold it. 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your nose and hold it. 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold it. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold it. 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold it. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold it. 2, 3. Number 4, breathing in. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 3, 4, and hold it empty. 3, 4. Number 5, in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. 6, inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, 7, in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, last one. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Take what we call recovery breaths, breathing in, and again. So in yoga, we primarily breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And if you can get it to draw down the back of your throat, it makes a slight roaring sound like the ocean. And when you do that, which takes a little practice, it's called Ujjayi breathing or victory breath, because it causes us to use more of our muscles to support our lungs, which, by the way, are on the back. The front of the lungs is on the back of our body. So we want to really expand that back. Okay, so Joan Dry was doing this before we started. She knows because she's a yogini. And we're doing a warm-up of our body. And you could also do this standing if you want to, but you don't have to. You can just change and go the other way. So this is from the style of yoga called Kundalini, which is a very movement-oriented style of yoga, and come center. Now, I've put this one together. I call it the 7-chakra undulation. You start with your heart, then your throat, then your third eye, crown, and then you pull it back. So now we want to breathe in through our nose, and halfway you start breathing out. And then try it again. So you're going through every single one of your vertebrae, and you are trying to bring a little more space, a little more energy, and release the tension that is there. And hold. Very, very good. All right, so let's just get our feet going. If you're sitting in a chair, you can do it this way. On your back, Jane, you could do it in the air. I call it jello legs. You just bring your legs into the air, and you just get some energy going in your hips and your legs. Yes, good. All right, very, very good. And hold. Now, I'm going to give you the essential movements of the back. These are movements you should try and do every day. Now, ideally, we are going to clasp our hands, and then you're going to press it down, and you're going to reach it up and back. Now, you'll slide down. The image I give here is that you're inside of a ball, and you want to feel like you are inside the ball, leaning forward and coming up through the side of the ball and to the very top and back. And then you slide down the sides of the ball, and you pull it in, and you lean back to the side of the ball. Now, if that's not working for you, you can do your thumbs. If that's not working for you, you can hang here. If that's not working for you, well, then what you can do is just reach your arms up. If that's not working for you, bring your elbows up. You don't have to go up all the way if that's not possible. You've got to take care of your body. All right, here we go. Clasp your hands if you're able, or the thumbs, or any of the solutions I gave you. And breathing in and up, reaching back and down. Now you're kind of sliding down the inside of the ball and coming up. And so we're really finding the full range of the concave and the convex parts of our spine coming in. This time you're going to stay up. So come on up, up, up. Now hold it as tall as you can. Now press into your feet, and then see if you can lean off to the side. Yes, and come centered. Good. and off to the side. So you're now working those stomach muscles. My grandson Finn and Zach do a lot of personal training. And my grandson has been training, and he's been learning how to teach all of these things in his training sessions. Now open up and then bring them down. Now, another essential movement of the spine is that you reach out and you come on over your head. Yeah? And then you come back. Now, you reach out, you come on up over your head, and if you can, you look up under your arm. Do it one more time. So you're drawing a rainbow. If it hurts your arms, then just do it without the arm. Just do it with the lean. You can always find a way to get the benefits without hurting yourself. Now bring your arms out, circle them 4 times, drop and lift, and drop and lift, and drop and lift, and drop and lift, and hold. Let's just take the wrists and take the wrists and the wrists going the other way. Yes. And then like water, taking one wrist up, one wrist down, one wrist up, and down, just moving like water. And then pulling the water to the side, pulling the water to this side. Pulling both out and coming in and out, and in and out, and in and out, and in and out, and in. Just shake them out again. All right, very, very good. So we're going to do this one more time, but this time take your other forefinger and put it on top. So if you clasp this way, you move it up 1 story. Here we go. And breathing in, and coming way to the back, and now coming forward and pulling it in and up. So you're really finding the support for the spine, but also the openness. But be very careful if you have any issues. You can adapt it. Now, here we go. Pull up high, and this time can you rotate? Can you come center? So this is another essential movement, the twist. We're twisting. And now we open our arms again, so we repeat this part, but we're going to add something. You bring it to the side, up and over your head, and now you turn and you rotate and you twist and you look down at the ground. Now you come up. Now this may be enough. If you want more, you reach both arms up and you reach out. And this is what strengthens the abdominals. And then you come up, and let's go to the other side. Come on over, and then you lean and you look down, and then you reach out and you pull it, reach it, yes, 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 and you come up. And let's try those circles again, dropping down, and dropping down, and dropping down, and dropping down, and hold. All right, we're moving to the shoulders, part of the connection and work with the spine. It's not the spine, but it uses a lot of the muscles connected to the spine. Now, roll forward and center, and back, and center and forward, center, back, center. Now front and up and back and down, front and up, back. So you'll feel very much the 2 bones on your back that are called your scapula, and they work with our spine and our chest. So bring your arms out and bring them here. Now pull your elbows in and pull them out, and pull them in and pull them out. Tilt side. If you are able, try and look up at the top arm. If not, then don't. It's that simple. Here and come here and here. And circle round and up and round and up. And go the other way, round and up and round and up. Bring it down and then drop it. Let your arms come up and drop it down and come up and drop it down and come up and hold. We're going to do 3 neck movements. I told you already, I introduced this large muscle. You can feel it. It's huge. It's one of the most important muscles in our body, the sternocleidomastoid. And as I said, it is the sternum it's attached to, the clavicle, and the jawbone. And so we're going to do some movements for that muscle in particular. First one is looking to the side and come center. Side and center. Side and center. Side and center. Now, tilt it to the side and then rise it up. Now, if you breathe, if you breathe with awareness, you can make this easier. You breathe in as you go down, and you breathe out as you come up. You breathe in as you go stretch, and you come out as you come up. Now this time, see if you can take your hand and put it to that ear, and then pull outward and drop your shoulder, and really feel that tremendous lift. Some of you may even want to try and rotate your head a little bit. That may be more than what you want. That's okay too. You can just watch what we're doing. Like athletes, they practice in their brains. If anything is too hard for you, you just practice by watching, and you will be doing it with your brain. Down and up. Good. Down and up. And here. And then the next one, the third one that we're doing, is head rolls. So you let your head roll across the chest and come up. Roll across your chest and come up. Roll and come up. And roll and come up. And now maybe full circles. You want to be very sensitive. Think about how this is affecting your neck. Only do what is right. And go the other way. And hold. Okay. We're going to move to the legs, and then we're just doing a few more things. So Jane, on this one, you might want to go to your back, or you can do it standing, either way. We're doing windshield wipers. Okay? So windshield wipers are probably the most effective way of warming up your body. So the other lower part, the hips and the legs. So you want to turn one direction, and you look at yourself. So it's a twist. You're like just windshield wipers. I don't think it's an old yoga term. I don't think there's a Sanskrit name for windshield wipers. But first, you just twist. Then you see if you can stretch your back leg out. Can you stretch it out and press against your knee? Can you get your arm out? And can you do this? And then can you do this? And then can you do this? And hold. Okay, now I'd like to show one more, and you can do this, Jane, maybe, well, you don't need to do it, but you can do it standing if for anyone that wants to. And that is that you go this way, and you swing it, and you lift your one leg out, and you swing it, and you go this way. So you're just swinging your body, and you're swinging your body, and you're swinging, and one more, and you're swinging. Good job. And come up. All right. So the last one, I would like Jane to stand for this one. We're going to do half sun salutations, Jane. So those of you that know how to do it and want to do it standing, I'll do it sitting. So we start with our hands in Anjali Mudra, the heart center, and we breathe in and up. We press our body forward with a flat back, and then we rotate and we bring it down to the ground. And then we come up halfway, breathing in and breathing out, and then we sweep our arms up, touching, gliding down. We have 3 more to do. And breathe in, and up, and forward. Bring down, and breathing in, lengthen, come down, release, sweep. 2. You might want to try it with your eyes closed if you're secure enough. In and up and forward, and round down, hang, and breathe in and lengthen, breathe out, release and sweep it up, coming down. Last one, breathing in and up and forward. Hang down, release down, hang, and pressing up to a flat back and a round back, and sweeping the arms, touch, gliding down, and hold. And here's our very last one, and you can do it standing as well. You're just going to take your hand and you're just going to see if you can cross your body. So with your hand crossing your body. Now see if you can go back further. So you're starting the twist now through your whole body. Now this time circle forward with your arm behind your body and then wrap it to the side. Now sweep it forward, go behind your body, and this time see if you can twist. So with those standing, I'm going to suggest that you put your hands together, Jane, and do a parallel position. I didn't work this with her out. There you go, yes. So that we have a twist like Jane is doing, or a twist like I'm doing, or anyone that wants to try this sitting, you can try it this way as well. And then come up and hold. Last side, and coming here. And then just go around. So you see if you can get this feeling of going behind you and reaching. Now you sweep it forward, you circle your whole body, and you come to this side. Then you circle it, you go your whole body, and this time you bring it and you're here. So this is stage 1. You can hold the back of your chair. This is stage 2, and standing would be stage 3. So just checking it, twisting it, breathing, and then coming here. And this is the final part here. Take your arms, and now this time we go in and out. We circle our arms, and then we cross our body. We circle our arms behind us, we reach up, and we reach down. Let's try that one more time. And arms up. And you go front circle, back circle, around your head, wrap your body. Behind your head, to the sides. Those of you who are standing, see if you can go up to your toes and balance. And those of us, we're just reaching up. And then we bring our hands together and we finish this part. And I would like to turn it over to Paul now, who has a wonderful slideshow of water to show you.
Is the slideshow already? Yes, Susan was telling you about the scientists these days who are looking everywhere for life in the universe. And the big clue is if you can find water there, there's a good chance that there's be life. And we are so lucky because we have so much water on this planet. And as you know, it comes in 3 different shapes, 3 different formations. There is the solid, which is ice and maybe snow. Then there's the liquid form, which is rain or fresh water in the rivers or salt water. And then there is the gaseous variations, steam and mist and fog. And we've got some pictures here, and I'd like to share some of these pictures with you. The first one, when you think of water, I think personally of rain. Now, one reason why I left England was because of rain. Too much rain and drizzle. Oh, and if it's not drizzling, it's spitting. And we have so many words for this stuff coming out of the sky. And it certainly rains in England, even though many people associate rain as being from Spain, where, as you know, it falls mainly on the plain. But not in this photo. Here it's raining in a city in Spain. Now this one was taken up in the Sierras, a little lake way up in the mountains, showing water in both its liquid and snow formations. The photo and the next few were taken by Clive Alcock, my Australian friend. Now, for the next one, it's hard to tell, but this is actually very still water acting like a mirror, reflecting the hillside behind. I just love that picture. No, your screen is not out of focus. This is just another of Clive's reflections in rippling water photographs. I love that. It looks like it's been painted. Mountain streams. Water is very good at something. It's making things wet. Moss loves it. If it's wet enough, moss can grow on a rock. Looking at this picture, my mind wanders up this mountain stream looking for a safe place to hop across. But watch out, moss can be very slippery. Eventually, these little streams work their way down to the valleys. The speed of the water drops, and they can become a great big curling river. No, it's not the Mississippi, but it's behaving in the same way. But this one is the Mississippi, the lower reaches of the Mississippi. Here's the bridge at Natchez, down below Memphis on the way to Baton Rouge and New Orleans. Now, if you're going east or west, most people cross the Mississippi and see it under the bridge for just a minute or two. I'm one of the lucky ones who's been up and down that river and so much of it. Not riding on something like the paddle wheel on the left, no. I was on the one you know about. It's a boat called the Point Counterpoint 2, the orchestra boat, as you know. We could go anywhere the Corps of Engineers had dredged out 8 feet. But even though we only took 6 feet, we often got stuck. One thing to watch out for if you're floating down a river is something like this. A big waterfall. Water's always following the rules of gravity. If it's lighter than air, it can rise. If it's heavier, it'll fall, like it does at the Victoria Falls. Yes, that was Scottish explorer David Livingstone, who named it after his reigning monarch, Queen Victoria, in 1855. But the local people, the Lozi, had their own name for it, the Smoke That Thunders. And there it is, still thundering and carving out that canyon. What incredible power. And it's the same story here. One small river did an amazing job of cleaning out the whole of that enormous Grand Canyon. Well, it probably took 4 million years to do it, but still, it's a big job. And it's possible to harness that power. I had to take salt pills for the heat when I was here in Zimbabwe, watching them build this dam, the Kariba Dam. Stopping the Great Zambezi took some doing. This river, not as impressive, but more famous. Perhaps the most sung about river in the world, the River Jordan. People still go there to be baptized. One more river, and that's the River of Jordan. One more river, there's one more river to cross. The river there, as you see, it goes from the Sea of Galilee down to the Dead Sea, dividing the West Bank and Jordan itself. Now for some pictures of water as a gas. One of the less attractive forms of water, maybe. A Peace Super Fog in London with the statue of Eros in Piccadilly Circus. Fog with soot in it. Of course, today we call it smog. Good name for this train. Steam engine. Look at all the steam. But the steam wasn't always this clean. Burning coal, it was usually filled with smuts that found their way into your eyes. Very painful, not good at all. Clouds. Clouds come in many different formations at different altitudes. Cumulus, stratus, nimbus, cirrus. Sometimes in California, it's hard to find a single cloud in the sky, but plenty of salt water, the great Pacific Ocean, and one of our family photos on an overcast but cloudless California day. Ooh, look at this one, the storm front, so menacing. And I don't even want to include tornadoes or hurricanes here. I prefer the peaceful water scenes, like this one, with a couple of sheep ignoring the beautiful rainbow behind. Now, lastly, dew, one of the most poetic of all forms of water. Maxwell and braes our bonny war yearly falls the dew. Poets are always talking about the dew. It's in the early morning when everything is still and quiet. I guess it's a romantic moment to talk about the dew. And spiders seldom get much praise, but aren't they superb designers? But I doubt if spiders are too fond of the dew for pointing out their artwork, letting the flies know where not to fly. That's another of Clive's photos. Well, Susan, we're talking about the water in the body. It's true. They say it's about 70% water, and we can't live without it. Look at the details. Can you read it there? Lungs are 90% water. Blood, 82%. Skin, 80. Muscles, 75. Brain, 70. And bones, only 22.
Dem bones, dry bones, dem, dry bones, dem, dry bones.
Now hear the word of the Lord. Remember that one? The bone, yeah, what is it? The toe bone connects to the foot bone connects to the ankle bone connects to the leg bone connects to the... They go up and up by semitones, and that's the way that song goes. That's a real old one. Well, water, what can we possibly do without water? Where's my next cup of tea coming from?
So hopefully these fantastic photos that Paul selected are going to help nourish your own brain in a way that is called creativity. So we're really going to be inviting you to join in this, what's called guided meditation that I'm going to take you through. We're going to have some sounds on the bowls and other things like a rain stick and some gongs and some xylophones. So what I'd like to ask you, this will take about 10 minutes. So I want you to find a place that's really comfortable. You're going to be lying down or sitting or leaning on a table or in your bed or wherever you happen to be that you're comfortable. That's the main thing. Be comfortable, be warm enough if you're at all cold. So Leonardo da Vinci said, "Water is the driving force of all nature." So I'm going to be guiding this meditation as if you were the water itself. So be prepared for that. Lao Ochung said that nothing is softer or more flexible than water, yet nothing can resist it. As you saw when you were looking at the canyons and the rock, that just one drop of water, after thousands of years, it really breaks down even the hardest, most challenging of textures and minerals. And maybe that's the way it is with people as well. Just a little kindness here, a little love, bit by bit, maybe opens up that kind of wall that sometimes people feel they needed to build to protect themselves. All right, so hopefully by now you're comfortable, and now I'm going to lead you through. This is an original guided meditation on water. First of all, begin with your breath. Begin with your life force. Remember, when your breath is no longer moving in your body, you are no longer in your body. It's not functioning. It won't animate. It won't work. We don't have life. So breath is life. And as I mentioned in yoga, it's called prana or pranayama, life force, breath. And imagine all those rivers of meridians in your body. And what we're doing is kind of feeling now that they have turned into kind of all the tributaries, the rivers, the oceans, and that we're going to be exploring you as a drop of water. Imagine the qualities of water in yourself. As a drop of water, feel your moving nature. Feel the softness of your texture. Feel that you can travel anywhere. You can adapt yourself to any container or any path. You are flexible, liquid, flowing. Imagine a gentle rain in which you and millions of other water droplets fall to the earth, splashing and gathering into streamlets, traveling together, accumulating power as other droplets join in the flow. You feel yourself becoming part of a stream, bouncing over rocks and squeezing easily between and through plants and trees at the edges of the stream. You are providing transportation for fish and insects and bits of branches and leaves. You are a moving highway of water. As other streams join you, you evolve into a river. The river is wide. The river is deep. The river carries boats and people to their destinies. Children splash as they giggle with delight in your essence. The rivers flow to the sea. Your experience changes as the river changes its course, as it changes its direction, its level, its size, and speed. Sometimes your mood is calm and mellow, sometimes wild with fury. At times, you gently caress the earth's skin. Other times, you drop rapidly down cliffs and into canyons. Deer, lions, elephants, and buffalo drink your liquid. Owls, eagles, and red-tailed hawks skim your surface. Pelicans dive into you and catch fish. Alligators glide silently through you. You adapt to every need. You sustain life within and without. As you travel, you work with millions of water companions through centuries to carve out mountains, create valleys, slice cliffs, and dig caves. You design the landscape on your way to the sea. You hear the roaring sound of the sea and know that you will soon be part of something much bigger than you have thus far imagined. The poet Kahlil Gibran said, "In one drop of water are found all the secrets of all the oceans." You begin to realize that you can learn much from the qualities of water. W.H. Auden said, "Thousands have lived without love, but not one has lived without water." As you breathe in deeply and exhale fully, think of how you can be more flexible and pliable, like water. Think of how you can be more forceful in your intentions to deal with change, or softer. Maybe you even can be the change. Imagine yourself changing into different forms of water. Raindrop or snow, ice, hail, fog, rising upward to form clouds and then falling to the earth. When you try these different forms on, how do they feel? Which ones do you identify with? Do you like? Do you feel most comfortable being? So begin to breathe more deeply and longer breaths with a deepened sense of understanding, of acceptance and compassion for yourself, your dreams, your triumphs, and your disappointments. Feel yourself as water. Remember what it feels like to move like water and to transition like water and to change things like water. To fit into many, many different places. Remember the lessons that you learned through this experience. And then very slowly begin to bring yourself back to your own room you're in right now, and begin to just feel yourself back in your own body, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, just kind of stretching your body out, waking up, but in a new kind of frame of mind with a little bit of renewal. And if you are ready to, you're going to take a piece of paper or a journal and a pen and pencil, and you're going to see if you can write down just a few of the thoughts that came to you as you had this experience. So I have a few writing prompts. If you don't have paper, you don't have a pencil, you don't have a pen or a piece of charcoal, then think your ideas. Just go through a process of brainstorming within your own mind. So first of all, what thoughts, feelings, or memories came up for you? Sometimes I just jot ideas down and then later I develop them. So you might decide that, or you can write what you're thinking. And you can continue writing on that, or you can try this idea. Do you have any new insights about water? And finally, how is water, in any of its forms, a metaphor for your life? How is water a metaphor for your life? And these are just ideas that I hope you will continue musing about and with and on. And perhaps you'll even like to write a poem or a short story, or just be aware of water in a new way from this experience. A wonderful Vietnamese Buddhist who lives in France, Thich Nhat Hanh, says that enlightenment is when the wave realizes it's the ocean. So now I'm going to turn it back to Paul, and he's going to introduce the singing bowls to you.
So let me tell you a little bit about the singing bowls. They're made of a certain sort of glass which has a different component in it. And it's the special part of it which is lead. Lead turns glass into crystal. These are crystal bowls. And there's quite a difference because when you hit this bowl, now this one for example, that note in music is A. And normally orchestras tune to that note A, and it has 440 vibrations in it. And the thing is this, when you hear it, you could probably tell that this is a singing bowl playing. It's because it sounds different to a flute, because it has different overtones. And that's the main difference, because, and why, this is the interesting thing to me, is that I'm just learning about this, is that these bowls, being made out of crystal, have there's overtones that relate especially well to the parts of your body for healing, because there's crystalline in there somewhere and in your body. I'm going to learn about that very soon. Jane's going to tell me. And so these bowls, here I have a regular scale for the key of C. That's C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And the C is missing because we've only got 7 notes. The 8th one is the same as the first one. It's the octave higher. And they're very good for, I mean, healing has been done with vibrations for years and years and years. And what you should really do when I start playing them is to turn up your volume as loud as you can go, because if I turn it up loud here, it's going to overload the microphone. And so to get the healing, you really need to listen to the vibrations and know that it's a singing bowl which is talking to your body in a special way that only singing bowls do. That's why they're so popular these days. Now, yogis always associate the bottom one here, the red one, with the various chakras, the root chakra. And you don't have to associate it with that. That's just, I think it's like a suggestion. Whatever suits your body just right, that's the one you should listen to for different parts of your body. So that's the red one, which goes with the root chakra, and that's for your physical needs and everything. The D in the scale is the sacral chakra. And you know about chakras, right? All those centers in your body. The second one from the bottom, the sacral one. Solar plexus, the third one, the E in the scale. The heart, the green one. You hear how when you play them in adjacent notes, there's a sort of a clashing sound. It's rather like church bells, which are out of control. You ring them and they keep ringing. So you can deaden them by using your fingers. I have to do that on occasion. Otherwise it sounds like church bells, really sort of, which is a chaotic form of music, really. The fifth one is the throat chakra. Third eye over here, the indigo. And the crown. That's the seventh one, the crown. Violet one. All right, so shouldn't I give the sort of concert of all bowls for a few minutes? Are we ready for that?
Yes, so what we're going to do is get ready now to relax again. So we'd like you to find another really comfortable place. Go back to the first place, or if you want to move to another place that you like to. Maybe you were in the chair, now you're going to be on the floor, now you're going to be next to the wall, legs up the wall. We're going to give you a sound bath. And I'm going to just give you a quick breathing to get you ready for this. And this is a little different breathing than we did earlier. You're going to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your mouth, and out through your nose. So it's in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the mouth, out through the nose. We're just going to do it 4 times, and then we're going to immediately go into our sound bath that will be approximately 10 minutes. Breathing in and breathing in, out through the mouth, in through the mouth, out through the nose. Second round, in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the mouth, out through the nose. Number 3, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the mouth, out through the nose. Last one, in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the mouth, out through the nose. Okay, get really comfortable. You might want to lie down for this again, and sound bath. very slowly begin to just bring yourself back with your breath by lengthening your breath. And just without judgment, just see how you're feeling. It could have brought up different feelings. You could have felt it in certain parts of your body. This is also something that we encourage you to think about and maybe even to write about later. And we're coming to the very end of our workshop, and we're ending with this song. So we have one more beautiful, beautiful song, and I'm going to invite all of you that would like to, and I want to make sure we can see Jane back there, so that I'm going to be doing very simple movements like water and birds and things to the music, and you can just listen to the music, or if you're more physically inclined and you want to express it, you can try moving with me. Or do your own movement if you don't want to move with me. It's okay. I won't be hurt. All right.
Okay. This is the Skye boat song. You've heard of that before. And I have a personal connection with the island of Skye. My mother was Scottish. Ursula Campbell was her maiden name. And then she met this man called Hugh Tracy, and he was an Englishman. So I'm half English and half Scottish. And the island of Skye was where my grandmother went when she just got married, and she was related to the MacLeod family who live on the island of Skye. And she went to this castle, Dunvegan Castle on the Isle of Skye, and that is the home of the chief of the MacLeods. And her name at that time was Dame Flora MacLeod. And all the time I was growing up, she was always the chief of the MacLeods. And it's not surprising that she lasted that long, because she lived to be 98 years old. So that's my connection to the Isle of Skye. Now this story is about Bonnie Prince Charlie. And Bonnie Prince Charlie was a pretender to the throne of Great Britain. And he was fighting with the Jacobites. And he'd had many fights with the English. And he was doing okay until Culloden Moor came up, the Battle of Culloden. And that's where he lost badly. In 40 minutes of fighting, only 40 minutes of fighting, his army was destroyed. And he was on the run for 5 months with the English chasing him. And he had to escape. And so he met a woman called Flora MacDonald. And she was the one who helped him escape to the Isle of Skye. One of the things she did was to dress him up as a woman. Anyway, they went down to the coast, and they had to get in a boat to cross over to Skye. And on that day, it was very, very stormy. So this is the song about that event in English and Scottish history. Now, there's one word I should tell you about. It's the word claymore. And when the word comes up, claymore, you'll know what it is. It's a big sword, which you have to hold with 2 hands. It's a big, and it can just wipe out. I don't want to talk about it. It's really quite horrible. And if you ever thought that this song was a lullaby, you may have to rethink it once you know the bloody story of these events.
Speed, bonny boat, like a bird on the wing, onward the sailors cry. Carry the lad who's born to be king over the sea to sky. Loud the wind howls, loud the waves roar, thunderclaps rend the air. Baffled our foe stands by the shore, follow they will not dare. Speed, bonny boat, like a bird on the wing, onward the sailors cry. carry the lad who was born to be king over the sea to sky. Though the waves leap, soft shall ye sleep, ocean's a royal bed. Rocked in the deep, Flora will keep watch by your weary head. Oh, speed, bonny boat, like a bird on the wing, onward the sailors cry. Carry the lad who was born to be king over the sea to sky. Many's the lad fought on that day, well the claymore did wield. When the night came, silently lain, dead on Culloden field. Oh, speed, bonny boat, like a bird on the wing, onward the sailors cry. Carry the lad who's born to be king over the sea, over the sea, over the sea to sky.
Well, if that had happened, and in modern times, there would be no problem at all, because nowadays, crossing from the mainland over to Skye, there is a magnificent bridge. So history would have been totally different.
Well, we want to thank you so much for joining us. We're having a lot of fun putting this together. We want to probe your thinking a little using our natural resources of the elements. And so with water, when life throws obstacles in your way, be like water and either cut through them or form a new path that will lead you to your goals and your dreams. Keep flowing. Remember, one drop and another drop can often accomplish things that you couldn't do otherwise. Water can cut through anything. Please continue thinking about your writing. I had a little bit more that we wanted to give you after the sound bath, but we also want to honor the time of finishing when we said we would. So there's three things. Last time we taught you Shanti. So Shanti, and often you'll just go Shanti.
Shanti.
Shanti means peace. Try to cultivate peace within you. Try to breathe peace out. Try to think of the road of peace. And just like water, that's the way maybe we can make change. The other thing is namaste. So in namaste, and it's a beautiful concept that from the light within me, I greet the light within you. I greet the light within you. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful image. Often yogis will do it this way. They'll do it this way, something higher or bigger than themselves. To their own heart center, always remember to go with love. And then making a fist with the left hand, covering it with the right. And that is bowing to your inner teacher, your intuition, your wisdom. And then I'd like to teach you one last thing that we're going to do today, which is Om. And Om is a fantastic word. It is believed by early cultures and Tibetan Buddhism and also Hinduism that it is the sound that was made by the universe, by the whole universe as it was being formed. And the Tibetan Buddhists feel that it's a symbolism for wholeness, perfection, and the universe. So let's all end with Om, if you would like to join us. It's actually Aum, but most of us say Om now. Here we go. And breathing in. Om. Shanti,
Shanti.
namaste.
Namaste.
All right. Just a reminder, our third one is at the end of this month. This next month, it's coming October, and I believe it is, if I have it written here.
October 25th. It's on the screen.
Oh, good. It's on the screen. October 25th, and it will be featuring air. Air. Thank you so much.
Thank you.